welcome everybody to the Toledo City League Athletic Championship Legends game. Man, and I'm excited because I got one of Toledo's own. I play football, but man, you can't be in Toledo and not talk about Toledo basketball with one of the greats, unapologetically. Man, I am with the legendary right here in Rogers High School, where he probably got big numbers to put up. Donald Collins, what's up, Mr. D?
How you doing?
Man, I'm all right, man. Man, as a sport enthusiast, I grew up on Belmont, but I went to Southview. I had a chance to lead the basketball tournaments in City Park. So when you're doing basketball in Toledo, they mention your name, and you can't say nothing about Toledo without Donald Collins. But I want to be a little different with this quick interview. Listen, what was the part in the outdoor basketball like in Toledo during your time, even for the ones that didn't even make it to the hardwood, the neighborhood guys? What was that like?
It was very special because if you look at the outside courts now and the scenery, there's no kids out there playing on the playground. It used to be like the Rucker at City Park, like the Rucker in New York. That's how City Park used to be. Ottawa Park, St. Teresa, but St. Teresa only had one rim. And you know, I mean,
It was jam-packed.
like 100, 200
Smith
people.
Park, the pond, under the
Smith Park.
bridge.
I grew up in Smith Park. Balls Field, where the New Douglas Center is.
All that meant something.
All of it. Man.
So, Mr. Collins, before we really get into who you is, and that's the part that's really exciting, but when you contribute a lot of that outdoor basketball before we get into the school basketball, why was it so important to the neighborhoods being outside and playing, as we call street ball, and playing in the parks?
Well, first of all, it gave our parents free time, you know, because we out playing ball and, you know, doing all that, so they got things they could do.
Yeah.
But as far as for us, I mean, that's all we knew, because at that time, it wasn't a whole bunch of inside places we could play.
Okay.
You know, maybe the old Douglas Center, but the older guys ran that.
Yeah.
So if you can have games, you might as well not even go down there.
So you had to be in the park.
In the park, you know.
Oh,
But
wow.
I did get to play at the old Douglas.
with some of the Toledo.
That's where I learned. I learned at the old Douglas Center.
Where Boss Field was at the church?
No, that's a new one. The old Douglas Center was across from the Fort Lawrence.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. They had a stage right there where the court was. I mean, it was like a auditorium gym.
So that's where you got a lot of your grit and your game from?
Oh man, them old guys, man, they used to beat me up, man. Beat me up. My older brother used to beat me up, and I was like, bro, why you play me so hard? I said, man, when you get between these lines, you ain't my brother. Wow. And I learned from that. I had a guy play defense on me even when he was on offense. He was playing me on defense. I mean, that was old guys teaching young guys the game. You know?
And so when you talk about that and you share those stories, and that's why this opportunity of connecting the City League Legends game, talk about the basketball and what it meant. What did it do for your high school game? And for those that don't know, and this is big here, let them know what high school you attended and made it work.
Dog for life. You Scott. Dog for life. And it helped it made me physical.
Oh, wow.
I learned to be physical. And like I was telling the guys from Team Florida, I was 5'11" as a freshman. As a junior, I came back to school, I was 6'5". So I could handle the ball, but playing with the older guys made me tough.
Absolutely.
You couldn't call no fouls, you know, man, shut up, play. Okay.
Wow.
So I learned to be physical and absorb contact, you know. Like when I went to college, man, they hated me on the West Coast because I was physical.
Grown man.
Like, man, what you doing, man? Shut up, man, play. That's the way I was taught.
And where you attended on
Washington State University. I'm a Cougar also.
Man, I'm a Cougar. I just went to Southview.
Okay.
So
hey.
we got the mascot in college.
But,
With that being said, so you had a chance to play in Washington. You were Pac-10 Player of the Year
right.
During that time. And all goes into that. And I just want to tap on that because I want to get to the professional piece and how it impacted you and your family. But being the Pac-10 Player of the Year during that time, is that like our social media time? What was the buzz like when you was Player of the Year in the Pac-10? What was that like?
You won't even believe it because I didn't even realize I was that good. I was surprised when I won it. I just love to play, man. That's all I love to play basketball. That's the way I grew up. I felt I had talent.
Yeah.
You know, but all the records and the stuff I did, I didn't really realize.
You was just doing what you knew to do.
Right, what I love to do. I just love to play.
Wow.
You know, so it didn't really hit me until the season ended, and then they was talking about being drafted, and you know, I had no aspirations of playing the pros. I just wanted my family to see me play on TV.
Now wait a minute. That's a good point.
That's it.
That's a good point. So number one, coming from Scott, how did you find your way out to Washington, the state of Washington on the West Coast?
Well, my coach, Mr. Williams, and my coach at Washington State were good friends.
The relationship.
Right, and I had signed to go somewhere else.
Who?
Florida State.
Okay, FSU.
They was on probation.
Okay.
They didn't tell me.
Okay.
So the NCAA let me out. So now I don't have nowhere to go, whatever. And Mr. Williams kept saying, well, just go out to Washington State. I missed like 3 planes. And he came and got me at Smith Park. I was up at Smith Park playing.
Wow.
And he came with my luggage and everything because I was packed already. I missed 3 planes. And he brought my luggage and everything and took me in sweaty clothes that I had on at the park to the airport, put me on the plane.
Oh my goodness.
Didn't leave until the plane backed away from the runway because he knew I couldn't get off then. And that's how I ended up at Washington State. And it was like the best weekend of my life.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
So kind of fast forward, and again, just thank you for just sharing the insight, because one thing we know about Toledo, we're not really impressed with the accolades. We need to know you from the neighborhood, the community, and the relationship that you're talking about. So those that know about Smith Park and being called to play Division I at a Pac-10 school from Smith Park, that's a whole nother piece. So you talked about now you're about to be drafted in the NBA. What is your family? What is your friends? What is Toledo like knowing you were in Pac-10? What was that vibration?
I mean,
Before
my,
even
my,
getting
my friends didn't change. You know, I had the same friends.
okay.
You know what I'm
From
saying?
what neighborhood? What streets?
I'm on the West Side.
What streets? What neighborhood?
Prospect, Detroit Prospect. Yes, sir.
Because we know it means something.
Yeah, Lincoln School, Robinson, Scott. But my friends didn't change, and I didn't change. It was unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to describe.
Okay.
You know, but like I said, I never expected these things, and I was supposed to go in the top 10.
Yeah.
But they said I had a bad attitude.
Okay.
Which I
Prospect in Detroit.
but I did. I really did.
All right.
And that hurt me, but I still went 18th in the first round. And Atlanta was the first black city, but it was the first city that I realized that there were black lawyers and black doctors and seeing people of color walking around with briefcases downtown. That was my first experience. All I knew was Toledo, Washington State.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
I've been to New York one time. My brother went to Columbia in the Ivy League. I visited him one summer for a few weeks. But other than that, all I knew was Toledo.
Okay.
So I had never seen, I mean, I went to Mississippi on family vacations, but, you know, it was still sharecroppers, and my grandparents were still, you know, rent land from Mr. Tom or whatever. So I had never seen black people in successful roles.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was awesome. And then I got traded to the Bullets in DC, and it was the same. You know, they call that the Chocolate City.
Yes, sir.
And you know, it broadened my horizon. One thing about me, ain't no place like home. That's the only thing that Dorothy didn't lie about in The Wizard of Oz. Ain't no place like home.
What you mean by that, Mr. Collins?
Because this is home for me. Ain't no place like this. But I don't want to live here.
Okay.
You know, and matter of fact, me and my wife are getting ready to move next August or September, we're moving.
One of the things that you said, I want to hold that point real quick. You said, if you can make it in Toledo, if you can do well in Toledo, you can do anywhere in the world.
Yeah, because you don't realize how hard life is in Toledo until you go somewhere else.
Mm.
And then you realize, man, this is easy. You know what I'm saying? Because it was hard here.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean, I went to all black schools.
Yes.
The only Caucasians that I interacted with was teachers, law enforcement. Not that I got in trouble, but
Absolutely.
all you know,
What the norm of our city,
yeah,
absolutely.
during that time, 70s.
Yeah.
And it was just it's just hard here.
Man,
I mean, our parents, my dad strived here. My mom was a nurse's aide at St. Vincent for 35 years.
And that's
you
a
know,
hospital for all of us in the black
so,
community.
I
We
mean,
know about
but
St. V's.
life here is hard for African Americans
Okay,
or minorities, put it like that.
understand.
And it's gotten better, I guess, since the 70s, you know, because, you know, I left here in 76,
Okay,
and I didn't come back, I mean, to actually live until 99.
so with that being said, and again, just being mindful of your time and just, man, this is just loving rich history and getting this. Just a couple small points. So you talked about, you didn't change, your friends stayed the same. So when you get drafted to the NBA from Toledo, Scott, you come back home. What is your experiences when you come back home as now an NBA player? You come back to Toledo. What does that look like during that time? What was the feeling?
I mean, it wasn't a big thing because, like I said, I didn't change friends.
Okay.
So I still hung out with the people I
You
hung
still
out
get the
with.
red and white, the stone,
Red and white.
family food.
Most of my friends were thugs.
Okay,
You
okay,
know, I wasn't a thug, but my friends was. But
okay.
I respected them. They respected me.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
if they were doing something unsavory, DC, you gotta go.
Okay.
Cause it's getting hot around here. Whatever.
That's how they looked out for you. Told you.
Exactly. You know, but
Wow, they don't talk about that.
but I still spend time playing dominoes and
Being with family and
shooting
friends.
pool with the same people I grew up with.
Understood.
You know, and I still hang out with some of them guys today that's still here. You know, I don't really hang out like out at night. When it get dark, I'm at home.
Understood.
You
Understood.
know, now at you know at my
Tender age
now,
years now.
Yeah, you know, I just had a birthday last Friday. So.
All right. Happy belated birthday. You can't tell by the gray on you. The season
I
though.
like to celebrate myself.
The wife says she do too. We hear her clapping in the back. And so as we just kind of bring this to a close, this Legends game is here right now with the past basketball pioneers like yourself, with the new generation and the people in between. Why do you think this is good in the space that we're in right now for basketball in Toledo and in the culture?
First of all, it's not about basketball. It's about connecting with our youth. You know, that's what it's about. It's not about just basketball, but this is the way we know how to connect with them,
Absolutely.
and hopefully bring prominent basketball back to the city.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, couple of schools in left Central, St. Francis, St. John's, they in the Great Lake Leagues now, you know?
Absolutely.
So it's like 5 city league schools, and it's crazy.
Well, we don't want to take too much more of your time. You're about to be honored and do some other things.
Oh,
We thank you so much. It's all good. Thank you so much, and we're waiting on you at this time. Thank you, Dr. Scott.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, real quick. I'm good. All right.
All
Make sure you
right,
get it
so
down. Both of us
sorry.
getting up. Hey, don't forget your cane. Look, he done left his cane.
I can walk without it, that's why.
Man, you might have to